Hello everybody, Jamie at McDermott Q. Today we're going to spotlight our Mach 1 brake Q. We have the no wrap version here. We also offer it with a linen wrap or a leather wrap if you so choose. The nice thing about this Q is it carries our variable balance point system inside the butt, which allows you to both adjust the weight and the balance point of the Q, and we're going to kind of review that and go over that process here today. So we'll start off by weighing the Q. Have a scale here. We're going to weigh it. It comes in at 20.3 ounces. So we usually preset them close to 20 ounces. This one's a little bit over that, so 20.3 ounces. Officially, the balance point is set currently at 20 inches from the bottom of the Q. So we're going to change the weight, make some adjustments, and then we'll kind of recalibrate, see where things are at. So the first step in changing the weight is using this H-Series tool. It's a two-sided wrench. You've got a 1/4 inch Allen wrench. Insert that into the bottom bumper. Start to unscrew it. And you'll be able to pull the whole weight rail assembly out. Comes out a little easier if you twist it as you pull. There's a little natural resistance there. So here we have the weight rail that's inside all of our H-Series Qs, including the Mach 1. We've got the pink stabilizers here. These dampen the vibration from inside the Q. Here we have the weight bolt. Currently there's a 2-ounce weight bolt in here. You'll also see 2 steel collars on either side of the weight bolt. We're going to use this green screwdriver to loosen up those collars. And then the small end of this H-Series tool is a 1/16 inch Allen head, and that will actually loosen the set screws inside the weight bolt. So let's start with the weight bolt. Loosen up the set screws on that. You don't have to take them completely out. Just loosen them up. And then there's 2 screws on each of the collars. So again, just loosen those up a little bit. Once you get everything loosened, you can actually slide all the components off. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to start sliding everything off, including the stabilizers. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some more weight to it, and I'm going to change the positioning of the weight as well. So we're going to change this from a more forward balance Q to a rear weighted Q. And that's really just based on personal preference. Some players just have a certain preference of where they like the Q balanced and the overall weight. Okay, so when you're making the adjustments on the weights, you want to ensure that you have the stabilizers on either side of the weight bolt and collar system. So like we had up front here, we're going to slide the collar on first, and we're going to slide the weight bolt back in. We're going to add some weight to it. So here I'm going to add a 1 ounce and a 1/2 ounce bolt. So we're going to add a total of 1.5 ounces. We're going to add another collar piece. We're going to add another collar piece here. Stabilizer. And then the rest of the stabilizers will just kind of space out equally on the rest of the rod, leaving the top one about 2 inches from the top. So it'll look something like that. So now that we have these weights in the new position, we're going to tighten everything back down. So I'm just getting all the screws, set screws, kind of aligned so they're a little easier to tighten. So again, we can start with the weights or the collars, it doesn't really matter. I'm going to start with the weights here. We got the set screws, tightening with the H-Series tool. You just want to snug it tight. You don't want to over tighten it because you can potentially crack the carbon fiber rod here. So just snug fit is fine. And then you do want to tighten up these collars. These collars help keep these weights in position and prevent them from loosening up. So again, 2 small screws on each of these collars. Get those tightened up. Okay, now we're ready to insert the weight rail back into the cue. Again, a little easier going in if you twist it as you push it in. And then once you get it seated all the way in, then you actually use, again, your 1/4 inch larger end of the hex wrench here and insert that into the bumper. You'll start the threading to get everything tightened back down. So now we're locked and loaded in there. Put it on the scale. So we're 21.75 ounces. So we added basically about 1.5 ounces to that. And we shifted the balance point. Let's check that out. So now the balance point's about 17.5 inches. So it was at 20 inches. We moved it back about 2.5 inches and obviously increased the weight as well. So those are some of the adjustments that you can make on the Mach 1 or any of our H-Series cues. So again, adding the weights and then positioning where you want those weights is going to impact the balance point of the cue. So again, that's more of an individual player preference, but I will say once you get it dialed in to exactly where you like it, putting a little bit of Loctite 242, this is the removable thread locker, it's the blue Loctite. Putting a drop of that on each of those set screws and the weight bolts will prevent them from loosening as well. So I'd play around with it for a little bit, see where you like it before you fine tune it. And then once you get it dialed in, just lock it in with that removable thread locker. Because it is removable, I mean, you can always back the weights out and make adjustments, but it just prevents it from coming loose or creating any kind of vibration. So that's kind of the rundown on the Mach 1. Again, we offer 3 different models. We have the no wrap here. We do an Irish linen wrap or a leather wrap version as well. And they all come equipped with the 13mm Defy brake shaft. Great power, great performance, very low deflection, just a great cue. So if you have any questions, feel free to visit our website and get more details. Thanks for watching.